If your sneakers are dirty and you're wondering what shoe cleaner actually works, this test is for you. Today, I'm putting two of the most popular shoe cleaners head to head on 3 different pairs of sneakers to see which one actually performs better. I'm going to show you the entire process and the results, but at the end of the day, I'm the tester, you guys are the judge. Let's see which one comes out on top. A lot of shoe cleaning videos start with a brand new pair of shoes that they intentionally dirty and then they clean it to show how well the product works. And while that can be good to test fresh dirt, I wanted to see how these cleaners perform on shoes that people actually own and have been wearing over time. So I picked 3 different pairs with 3 different challenges. First, we have these white Nike Dunks with some everyday wear and a few marks. Then we have these black Adidas that are already in pretty good shape but need a refresh. And finally, these black Nike Dunks, which are over 3 years old and have an insane amount of yellowing and oxidation on the midsoles. To keep this as fair as possible, both cleaners are getting the same brush, the same cleaning process, and the same amount of time. One of these cleaners says on its website it can clean a shoe in about 30 seconds, so that's where I started. First up, these white Nike Dunks. They're a great baseline because some people have everyday wear, but they aren't completely destroyed. They have some marks and dirt and buildup, which is probably the type of shoes most people are trying to clean. I started with the recommended 30 seconds, but pretty quickly I realized that just wasn't enough time. It took almost that long just to clean the tongue, so I adjusted the test. Every shoe received 4 minutes of cleaning time, 2 minutes on the upper and 2 minutes focusing on the midsole and the sole. I focus more on the midsole because that's usually where you see the biggest transformation. Next up are these black Adidas. These are actually in pretty good shape. There's some dirt in the mesh and a little buildup around the midsole, but overall, these mostly just need a refresh. This is a good test to see how each cleaner performs on a shoe that isn't heavily damaged. And finally, the pair I was most curious about. These black Nike Dunks are over 3 years old and they've been through a lot more wear than the other shoes in this test. The upper is actually harder to judge because black shoes can hide a lot of dirt and staining. So the real challenge is the midsole. These have an insane amount of yellowing and oxidation. So this is where I wanted to see if either cleaner could make a noticeable difference. But now it's time for you guys to decide. I'm going to show you the final comparisons, but before I reveal which cleaner was used, I want you to decide which side you think looks better. Keep track of which side you choose because I'll reveal the results at the end. So first, let's look at the white Nike Dunks. Which side do you think performed better, the left or the right? Look closely at the overall cleanliness, the midsole, and the remaining marks. Next are the black Adidas. Which side do you think looks better? And finally, the black Nike Dunks, which was by far the hardest test. Which side do you think did a better job? Take a good look at every photo. Compare the left side to the right side. Don't just glance at them, really pay attention to the midsoles, the remaining marks, and the overall finish. All right, lock in your decision. Which side do you think won? The left side or the right side? Or honestly, can you not decide? Here's the reveal. The left side was Shoelada FC150. The right side was Reshoevn8r with OxiClean. I know some of you are probably wondering which one I recommend. The truth is, I honestly can't say one is clearly better than the other. They both cleaned everyday dirt really well, but neither one completely removed every mark, stain, or oxidation on these shoes. I did notice that one had a slight advantage in certain areas, but the difference wasn't big enough for me to confidently call a winner. I'd rather tell you I don't know than pretend I saw a difference that just wasn't there. You can see there are still a few marks on these white Nike Dunks that neither cleaner removed. And these black Nike Dunks still have an insane amount of yellowing and oxidation on the midsoles. I was able to fix both of these problems, and I'll show you exactly how I did in the video linked at the end of this one and down in the description. But before you go, I need your vote. At the end of the day, I'm the tester, but you guys are the judge. Comment which cleaner you think actually won. Whichever cleaner gets the most votes is going head to head with this disgusting pair of Nike Blazers. Then we'll see if it can beat a simple at-home cleaning method that costs a fraction of the price. Because if something you already have at home can get a similar result, that's something anyone who owns a pair of shoes should know about. So make sure that you comment your winner, and I'll see you over there. So I'll do this, and then I'll do this. Try not to shake it.
I'm not trying to, but when I stay super still, I kind of shake a little bit.
Try not to shake.